We survived and thrived for 10 hours in hardcore Minecraft. Just like real life, if we die, we don't respawn, so we have to be careful. This video is packed to the brim with exploring, spelunking, and deep diving. Let's get straight to the video. Don't let me keep you waiting. I decided to leave the seed blank for a better experience. And just like that, we're in the world. I have nothing planned. For some reason, I decided to mow the lawn. I gotta first get down to cutting trees. Move it or lose it. I continued to trim the lawn for about half a day, and this is not a very good practice if you want to survive. Well, I found my very first tree today. Just as exciting as it sounds. I kinda wish life was this easy. Now we have our very first stone. Now you know we're gonna make it. It was also really slow, so we upgraded to a stone pickaxe. Oh, and I also forgot. We came across some sweet sugar cane. Then I peacefully just cut down trees for the rest of the day. One of the nice perks of not having any armor. I also could not stop staring at this water. My computer's amazing. I never knew plains biomes had so many weeds. I also built my house in a panic, but that's never good. Time for phase 2. Digging a mine. Found nothing too exciting. Also ran into a massive cave, so I had to be careful. Dying to a cave like this is very easy, so I took my time. I wouldn't say what I did here was my greatest move, but after that I took my time. I also found some iron ore, which is the only reason I came down here in the first place. I made myself a shield and a t-shirt and then ran back home to hide in my house. That morning I went to the river and started killing a ton of fish. And at the end of the day, I was actually able to go back home and light up my sanctuary. For some reason, the first wall I got was in the dead of night. After that life or death experience, I placed down my bed, and then completely forgot about it a second later. The only reason I forgot is because I wanted to light up my basement first. And do mind you, I was running for my life the whole time I was down there. I'm glad I'm doing this now. If one of these guys fall on me, it's gonna stop my heart. I wasn't down in the caves too long, and hopefully these guys won't be either. I also melted all my iron, and made myself some swanky iron armor. Early on day 3, I decided to go exploring in pursuit of a village. And because I get everything I want, I found a village pretty close to where I live. I then rang the bell so that the villagers would get scared and go in their houses. Their instincts taught them well. I then stole their food supply even though I didn't even need one. Speaking of which, I went back home and started executing more of the wildlife. No matter where you find coal, it's still good for cooking. I started on a future enclosure for all my farm animals. In a couple of minutes, I'm gonna regret doing this right outside my house. Now for the animals themselves. There's gonna be no survivors. I mean, party poopers. I also slept really good tonight. This time I have company. After getting our animals through the fence, they're going to be eating out of the palm of my hand. And look at that, my animals love my company. Later that day, I found my favorite fruit, pumpkins. After a nice relaxing day, it's time to go into the mines for my daily dose of stress. Yep, after I saw a creeper, I had some flashbacks to my old worlds. I'm glad I manned up. I found some diamonds. I then found a zombie spawner. Finally, a mob I can consistently do experiments on. I'm pretty sure I would have been able to see this gold from a mile away. I mean, it glows! This was a really long mining trip. Let me just say the ores I found. Diamond, iron, gold, iron, iron, iron. Lapis, diamond, lapis, iron, iron. Iron. Enough of that garbage, let me just show you a time lapse. Well, now we're done. There's a time for life, and the time for death. Here I'm making a farm with only one water source. I had to use 200% of my brain while building this because it was difficult. Yep, I'm still out here at night, dreaming of a farm I'll probably never have. Here's a time lapse for your troubles. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this lonely chicken here. Yep, there's no other chickens in the entire biome. I never thought I was ever gonna say that line, but it was still completely worth it. I would sacrifice a chicken for this view. What? Time for the American dream. Farms. It's amazing how I still had daylight. That means it's time to make it fertile. Guess what? Another replay for your troubles. This time I did not have daylight left, so I just smelted some iron. This base is really starting to come together. Why is that fish out on the open seas and not in my inventory? That'll give me something to think about while I'm in bed. I woke up early to start cutting some lumber, and I actually cut down most of the forest. Yes, I literally did this all day. What dedication. I then expanded my storage room, which is hard to do in a 3x3 space. I then embarked on my most dangerous mining trip yet. I killed several families of monsters down there, and I don't regret a single hit. Also got a lot of diamonds while I was down there, bringing my total to 9. I also think I've placed enough torches here to make it daytime. Don't believe me? Take a look at this replay. This next part of the day was definitely the highlight for sure, because now we're back in the mines. This ore generation came out like a year ago and I'm still overwhelmed. Also, this shader pack makes finding diamonds very satisfying. I do like the diamonds, but I did not sign up for the creepers. Why are they still spawning? I also mined away at some obsidian, because I can. I'm thankful I didn't record the audio before. I would have been blowing your ears out. And I didn't stop running until I made it back to the surface. Yeah, you don't know how fast I crafted dismantled that shield just then. I tried to go to sleep that night, but I couldn't because of the nightmares. Well, it's a new day. It's time to go to the village for a new contraption. And this project involves a lot of glass, which means pickpocketing the landscape. If I'm going to take the landscape with me, might as well take the trees as well. And I took the logs too. I don't want a bunch of dead obelisks all around my land. After trespassing into a house, we finally found the man who's going to run the operation. Right here I'm building a raid farm. I just don't trust myself not to die. Raids can give you totems of undying. For all you Mario fans out there, this is pretty much just like an extra life. I also found out that water goes straight through leaves. Why did I make my entire platform out of leaves? Now to mine out the peaceful little killing chamber for all the pillagers that are going to fall into this thing. Pillagers are just like villagers, but from the 1940s. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I had plenty of trouble constructing the drop chute, but it's nothing a little bit of hard labor can't fix. And oh wow, this would have been a very embarrassing way to die. Now that that's finished, the last thing we have to do is get the villager into his new home, in constant fear and on display for all time. Oh, and if you were wondering what pillagers were, there's some over there. Have fun, villager, it's your problem now. Now we have to cover up all the caves in the area, because pillagers' AI is not very smart. I even covered up the 1-block dips, that's how bad their brain is. Here is a very faint time-lapse of me covering up all the caves. Oh, you're awake? Good. Back to work. And then I killed off the pillagers. None of them gave me the bad omen effect. Time to put this RTX 3070 Ti to the test. And this is the only lag you're ever going to see in the video. Enjoy it. Also found a second village. More slaves, more test subjects, more joy. Staying up late's how I lost my last world. We gotta go to sleep. I would not make a very good mayor, and that's why I left the village before I can cause any more damage. What I'm looking for is a pillager outpost, and they're generally very, very hard to find. Time for the most bullshit Minecraft biome. The new taiga. I mainly just hopped around on trees until I found the pillager outpost, and the first guy I killed gave me the bad omen effect. While running away from the villagers, I got trapped in the powdered snow. Now I have to kill pillagers face to face. It was a nasty fight, but my axe scooped him up and I got the victory. This is just great. The typical snowy taiga biome. Then I ran back to my farm as fast as I could, as you can tell by the recording. When you go through a village with a bad omen effect, a raid starts. Thanks to my farm though, the pillager will be killed automatically. And as you can see, this encounter 10 minutes ago would have immediately killed me. There was times where pillagers got stuck in the caves, and if you hit a bell, you're gonna be able to see all the pillagers. Well, you can't kill me if you're dead. The next whole part of that raid was in that same cave, and the creepers weren't helping. The last thing I had to kill was called a Ravager, and it's worse than it sounds. And it sounds pretty bad. It's pretty much like a rhino, but it kills me in 2 hits. I was dreading the pillagers spawning back down here, but they never did. They spawned in my contraption. Why now? When you've killed enough raiders and they don't want to waste their ammunition on you, you get the hero of the village effect. I'm not gonna let this totem leave my hand as long as I live, which should be forever. Then I killed fish for the rest of the day like a Chad. If Chads killed fish, of course. I also changed my name today. I really did not like my name before. Cheers to harvesting more wheat, like always. And look, my animals missed me. I missed them too. I missed my animals so much that a creeper decided to join in on the action. Can you not? I better never miss my animals again like that. Also, before bed, I did a nice little mining trip. No stress included. I have no clue why I decided to sleep. If I had one thing I could say to Mojang, I would say, nerf baby zombies. Don't nerf diamonds though. But I will say I got way too many today. I also found another zombie spawner. I was a lot quicker this time. I found more than 20 diamonds on this trip. It's worth dying for. Right, zombies? I don't want to die after all that. Quick note to self. Never run 1,000 blocks in a cave again. These animals are reproducing like cancer, and you know the drill. More footage of me getting wheat. I'm gonna have a monopoly on this entire world in a few days. Hey, does anyone want a late night snack? More husbandry. I know you guys are getting tired. Time to craft some tacky, beautiful, and amazing diamond armor. Then I crafted every tool I would possibly want. And a jukebox. I didn't know that would take a diamond. The animals' screams are starting to get a little out of control. I gotta get rid of some of them. Guys, I was just kidding. With a tear running down my cheek, I crafted an enchanting table. Then I slept in front of the animals to pay my respects. Now for the climax of the entire series, fish genocide. Come to think of it, this is kind of nasty. I should probably blur it out. And I thought this was as good a time as ever to go into the nether. I could feel my heart rate doubling every second. This is the big reveal. This is what my nether looks like. Very average. I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure this is the most dangerous biome. Looks like I was right. As soon as I took a step, they wanted me gone. Thanks to my 2020 vision, I found a fortress right away, dropping into the fortress immediately. How wise. And you see that thing mercilessly lighting me on fire? That's what I have to kill. And these blazes aren't all bad, they helped me push a pigment into a hole. I am also amazed this guy did not hit me. I kept exploring the fortress with very little issue. These mobs have negative IQ. Very quickly I found myself some nether warts, my favorite plant, and some chests with loot that I actually needed inside of them. Then I ran away. I don't want to be here for any longer than I have to be. Then I built myself an ugly villager house. This place is starting to come together like a puzzle. Then I tried to save some of the men from the village and bring them back to my house. They survived a raid after all. Then I promised this guy a job, but he never gets one. That's all these guys require. They're dumber than a doorknob. I then got the second dude in the middle of the night. Maybe I'm the one dumber than a doorknob. Sleep is all it takes, trust me. The next morning I beat a zombie to death with a pickaxe. Don't blame me, I didn't have a sword. The third villager I got walked right into his house. He was built for this. You will suffer the same fate as all the others. And guess what? More garbage wheat farming. It's self-explanatory. My animals are starting to look like one solid block. First I gotta shear the lambs. Why did I make a time lapse of this? The next morning I put some more beds in the villager breeder. I made sure none of them were king-size beds. And then I started digging a massive hole for a storage room. I'm just gonna let that time lapse do the talking. More animal food farming, more animal food eating. These guys might as well become their own element at this point. Not after what I'm gonna do to them. Listen, it's not inhumane if they don't feel the pain. This time I had no remorse. I'm gonna have a lot of good food in the future. First we're gonna need some of this off-brand bamboo to make some books. Then we turned it all into paper. And then made ourselves a nice little library outside. This is a fully maxed out enchanting table. And this is how you get good perks. And the first enchantment absolutely sucked. Second time around we're actually getting somewhere. I mean, look at this chest plate. Then I enchanted a few more things and then made some matches. Then I enchanted my knife. Then I celebrated with a little bit of deforestation. You know, when I craft more axes, it's gonna get real. Look at my twig supply. I'm really just down here for some flint. I'm gonna get my villagers some jobs. These guys are gonna sell arrows to me, whether they like it or not. And now I'm all over the place. I'm in the nether again. No, I'm not down here to get another chicken. I'm here to go get some ender pearls. Let the hunt begin. There were a few cool things that happened, so I'm just gonna list them off right now. An enderman almost killing me. Not cool. An enderman pushed me off a cliff. A dude trying to get me to look at him. A dude literally climbing up 2 blocks to get in my boat. Me practicing for the Olympics. Me looking at an enderman through a boat. Enderman's AI not being able to walk on a boat. Jump scare. About 500,000 endermen right next to each other. Me giving a ghast instant karma. And finally, me almost dying to a lava pit. That's enough of the nether forever. Also, all of my armor is enchanted now. Here I was trying to make a Fletcher. I really have no idea what I was doing. I'm not completely sure this axe should have killed him, but I'm sad it did. I just did some more farming. It didn't really cheer me up. And then these things came along. They're pretty much my sleep paralysis demon. And it looks like villagers pay their respects to their friends by making me pay. Whatever, I can get another one. Factory in progress. For the last half hour of this world, I'm just gonna make this base look nice. I am gonna say though, it makes a nice time lapse. I could watch this all day. I tried to make this look more unique by blending it into the landscape. It didn't, and that cobblestone really brought it together. Guess what? It's streetlight time. I really like this large one I did over the farm. It acts like a windmill. And look at that, I pretty much made it daytime on my land. I'm pretty sure if you could smell things in Minecraft, it would have died a long time ago. Villager, you don't need to do backflips for me. Just reproduce. It's a lot easier. Just checking in to make sure you're doing your job. Oh, sorry. Luckily, this is the last time you're gonna see me breed the animals. Yeah, I'm sorry I made you watch that entire time lapse, but it looks a lot nicer on my land. If we're gonna go all out with making a village, we gotta go all out with making a breeding chamber. After all that building, we gotta celebrate with enchanting. Oh yeah, open you guys up to more industry. Harvesting my sugarcane took a full 40 seconds. Now I know it's too large. And as you can see, we've played for exactly 10 hours now. What a rush. Keep your eye out for episode 2. If I don't come out with it, I'm probably dead. Did you like this video? Yes or yes? Yes? Well, I'll see you in the next one. Don't disappoint me.